I guess time-wise, it might have taken about 3 years of just demoing and writing in my own studio for a while. I guess the difference for this one is I went overseas and did some co-writing for the first time. Well, I've done 2 songs before with the John Hume, Aussie producer, but that's the extent of what I've done before for co-writing. I went to LA, I went to Nashville to write with some international writers. Very nervous about it because it's something that's very new to me. So I was very concerned that, I didn't want to be the guy in the room that just wasn't bringing anything to the table. So pretty much the first session that I did over there in LA, I pretty much wrote 99% of the song because I was, that sort of nervous about it.
There you go.
But it was a great experience to get in with some great songwriters and really have someone else throw an idea at me that is something that I don't normally think of. So that's where I think some of these songs have some different flavours that aren't just solely me, of course. But, in the recording process and producing, that was all done in my studio at home. And some of the reviews for this EP have been the best that I've had since the Feeler days. So it's kind of nice to be, I guess, getting back on track or, to have, some good reviews again.
It's that thing where I'm always fascinated in talking to an artist because how people consume music is so subjective. The idea that, sure, the number one song, that's the one that they all remember from the radio or the thing they remember from a TV ad, but then there was something from another album that becomes their favourite song they dance to at their wedding. How does it feel when you release the little baby into the world and then people take it right to their heart even a bit more than you expected, or maybe sometimes thumbs down it in a way you go, well, hang on, man, I put everything into this?
Well, look, firstly, I mentioned reviews before. The funny thing is I don't read my reviews, and I stopped that years ago because I guess I kind of felt like it's really not my... it doesn't matter what people say about me, and it's not my business what people say. That's up to them. Everyone can have their own opinion. You're not going to please everybody, and I think once you start to listen to something that may be negative, people can focus on that too much rather than listen to all the positive things about what's happening. So I don't tend to read it. I don't care about that. Really, I just do the music that I like, that pleases myself, and hopefully that will have other people happy and listening to it. And that's the main thing that I've always done. I think that you make the mistake when you try to please a critic, or if you try to please even fans, you've just got to please yourself, and hopefully those people will come along for the ride with you, or they'll jump off and come back on later. So, music it's a fickle industry, and longevity is the biggest thing that I've found tricky. To actually have success is not easy, but maintaining that success or having that longevity is even harder.
Now, our show tonight is in Ballarat. You're a bloke who has been able to gig all over the country. How special is a regional gig versus some of the ones in your traditional, Palais in Melbourne or Hordens in Sydney?
I've done so many regional gigs, mate. I love them so much. Ballarat especially, the theatre there, it's a great spot. Country gigs, you've got characters in the country that I think you still have characters in the city, but it's not quite the same. You really have characters in the country, and those people, once you sort of get them revved up at a show, they really start to shine, and you can have a great time. And speaking of Ballarat, I played, like I said, many times in the theatre there, and it's a great spot, and it's probably one of my favourite spots to play, to be honest, because you've got everyone so close to you, but you can hear everything that they're saying, and it becomes kind of it's like a conversation with friends after a while. You're just having such a good time and ask him to, what do you want to hear? Most times I can't remember the songs they ask me to play, so I just do my own thing anyway. But you have fun with them, you know what I mean? And I think that's the country crowds will really get involved and get behind that, and just they don't care about embarrassing themselves at all. It's just they have fun.